The Galactic Council convened in the heart of their sprawling megastructure, a monument to their centuries of dominance. Representatives from a dozen species filled the chamber, their voices a cacophony of arrogance and disdain. The topic at hand, humanity, a young, fractured species that had dared to expand beyond their solar system. The Council had watched them for decades, amused by their petty conflicts and primitive technology. But now, humanity's rapid growth had become an inconvenience. The Council's verdict was swift and unanimous. A holographic projection of Earth flickered to life above the central dais, and the High Arbiter, a towering figure with iridescent scales, delivered the ultimatum: surrender your colonies, disband your fleets, and submit to galactic oversight. Refuse, and you will be eradicated. On Earth, the transmission was received with a mixture of disbelief and fury. Leaders from every nation gathered in an emergency summit, their divisions momentarily forgotten. The ultimatum was clear: submit or die. But humanity had never been good at submission. The streets erupted in protest, not of fear, but of defiance. Scientists, engineers, and soldiers worked around the clock, their efforts fueled by a collective determination to survive. Hidden deep within bunkers and laboratories, humanity's brightest minds unveiled projects long kept secret. Swarm drones powered by advanced AI, cyber warfare programs capable of infiltrating alien systems, and experimental weapons designed to exploit the weaknesses of their would-be conquerors. The world held its breath, united for the first time in centuries. The Galactic Council, meanwhile, remained confident. Their fleets, numbering in the thousands, were the most advanced in the known universe. They had crushed countless species before, their victories etched into the annals of galactic history. The idea that humanity could pose a threat was laughable. "They are insects," sneered the High Arbiter. "We will sweep them aside as we have done to so many others." The Council's commanders briefed their troops, their tone dismissive. "This will be a quick campaign," one assured the subordinates. "The humans will break at the first sign of real resistance." A lone human diplomat, sent as a final gesture of peace, stood before the Council. Her words were measured, her tone respectful, but her message was clear. "We do not seek war, but we will not surrender. Attack us, and you will regret it." The Council erupted in laughter. The High Arbiter waved a hand, and the diplomat was escorted out. "Let them come," he said, his voice dripping with contempt. "We will show them the price of defiance." The declaration of war was broadcast across the galaxy, a chilling reminder of the Council's power. But as the transmission ended, the human diplomat's final words echoed in the minds of those who had heard them. "You will regret this." The galaxy would soon learn that humanity's greatest strength was not their technology, but their unyielding will to survive. The galactic fleet descended upon the Sol system like a storm, their ships gleaming with the arrogance of invincibility. Thousands of vessels, each a marvel of alien engineering, formed a blockade around Earth. The Council's commanders expected surrender, or at most, a token resistance. What they encountered was something entirely different. Humanity's defenses, seemingly outdated and outmatched, sprang to life with ferocity that stunned the invaders. Swarm drones, small and agile, emerged from hidden launch sites, overwhelming the alien ships with sheer numbers. Cyber warfare programs infiltrated the enemy systems, disabling shields and weapons with surgical precision. The first wave of the galactic fleet faltered, their confidence shattered. On Earth, the mood was grim but determined. Command centers buzzed with activity as human strategists adapted to the unfolding battle. The alien fleet's initial assault had been brutal, but humanity's preparations paid off. Hidden bases on the Moon and Mars unleashed salvos of kinetic projectiles, striking the enemy with devastating force. Guerrilla tactics, honed over centuries of conflict, were employed with ruthless efficiency. Small, fast ships darted in and out of the fray, targeting vulnerable points in the alien formation. The galactic commanders, accustomed to orderly battles, found themselves outmaneuvered at every turn. "What is this madness?" one shouted as his flagship came under attack. "They fight like animals." The Council, watching from afar, began to feel the first stirrings of doubt. Reports of human ingenuity and resilience flooded their communication channels. Alien soldiers, once confident of an easy victory, now spoke of fear and confusion. "They do not fight as we expected," a commander admitted. "Their tactics are unpredictable, their resolve unbreakable." The High Arbiter, his scales dull with worry, demanded answers. How can a species so primitive cause such chaos? But there were no answers, only the growing realization that humanity was far more dangerous than they had imagined. Amid the chaos, a single human ship broke through the blockade, its mission clear. The vessel, sleek and unmarked, carried a message for the Council. Its captain, a veteran of countless battles, addressed the alien leaders with calm that belied the fury of the war. "You thought we would crumble," she said. "You thought we would beg for mercy. But you underestimated us. We are not just fighting for our survival. We are fighting for our future. And we will not stop until you understand the cost of your arrogance." The transmission ended, leaving the Council in stunned silence. The galaxy had never faced an enemy like humanity, and for the first time, they began to wonder if they could win. The war was far from over, but the tide had begun to turn. Humanity, united and unyielding, had made their stand, and the galaxy would never be the same. The war entered its most critical phase as humanity's innovations began to reshape the battlefield. Scientists and engineers, working tirelessly in hidden laboratories, unveiled technologies that turned the tide of the conflict. Reverse-engineered alien FTL drives allowed human ships to strike deep into enemy territory, bypassing the galactic fleet's defenses. Biological weapons, tailored to exploit the weaknesses of specific alien species, spread chaos among the invaders. The galaxy, once so confident in its superiority, now faced an enemy that fought not just with brute force, but with cunning and adaptability. Human commanders, their strategies honed by centuries of warfare, exploited every advantage, turning the Council's own tactics against them. Key battles became turning points in the war. At the Battle of Proxima Centauri, a human fleet ambushed a galactic armada, using asteroid fields as cover to launch devastating hit-and-run attacks. The alien commanders, accustomed to straightforward engagements, were caught off guard by the unpredictability of human tactics. At the siege of Epsilon Eridani, human forces used cyber warfare to disable an entire enemy fleet, leaving them vulnerable to a coordinated assault. Each victory, hard-fought and costly, chipped away at the galaxy's confidence. Alien soldiers, once eager for glory, now spoke of humanity in hushed tones, their fear palpable. "They are not like the others," one soldier reported. "They do not break. They do not surrender. They fight until the end." The Galactic Council, once a bastion of unity, began to fracture under the strain of the war. Alien factions, their trust in the Council's leadership eroded, started to question the wisdom of continuing the conflict. Some advocated for peace talks, arguing that humanity's resilience made further bloodshed pointless. Others, clinging to their pride, insisted on total victory. The High Arbiter, his authority waning, struggled to maintain control. "We cannot show weakness," he declared. "If we falter now, the galaxy will see us as vulnerable." But his words rang hollow even to his allies. The Council's arrogance had led them to this moment, and now they faced the consequences. Humanity, meanwhile, pressed its advantage. The victories at Proxima Centauri and Epsilon Eridani were just the beginning. Human fleets, their ranks bolstered by captured alien technology, launched a series of offensives that pushed the galactic forces back. The Council's homeworld, once thought impregnable, now lay within striking distance. Alien commanders, their fleets in disarray, began to surrender rather than face annihilation. The galaxy, once so dismissive of humanity, now looked upon them with a mixture of fear and respect. "They are not just survivors," one alien leader admitted. "They are conquerors." As the war entered its final stages, humanity's resolve remained unshaken. The galaxy had underestimated them, and now they would pay the price. The Council, desperate to avoid total defeat, offered peace talks, but humanity refused. "You had your chance," a human leader replied. "Now you will learn what it means to wage war against us." The message was clear. Humanity would not stop until the galaxy acknowledged their strength. The turning point had been reached, and the balance of power had shifted. The galaxy, once so confident in its dominance, now faced an enemy that would not be denied. Humanity's triumph was no longer a question of if, but when. The final assault on the Galactic Council's homeworld was a spectacle of human ingenuity and determination. The once mighty fleet that surrounded Earth now lay in ruins, their remnants scattered across the stars. Human ships, their hulls scarred but unbroken, descended upon the Council's capital with precision that left no room for error. The alien defenses, though formidable, were no match for the relentless advance of humanity's forces. Swarm drones overwhelmed planetary shields, while cyber attacks crippled ground-based weaponry. The Council's leaders, their confidence shattered, watched in horror as their last stronghold fell. The High Arbiter, his scales dull with defeat, issued a final, desperate plea for mercy. But humanity was in no mood to negotiate. The battle for the capital was swift and brutal. Human soldiers, their armor gleaming under the light of an alien sun, stormed the Council's citadel with ferocity that left their enemies reeling. Alien defenders, their morale broken, offered little resistance. The High Arbiter and his inner circle were captured, their once proud faces now etched with fear. The Council's banners, symbols of their centuries of dominance, were torn down and replaced with the emblems of humanity. The galaxy, once ruled by the Council's iron fist, now bowed to a new power. The war was over, and humanity had emerged victorious. With the Council's defeat came the terms of peace. Humanity, though victorious, was not interested in conquest. Instead, they demanded a new order, one built on equality and mutual respect. The alien species, their pride humbled, agreed to the terms without protest. The Council's homeworld became a symbol of this new era, its once imposing citadel transformed into a hub of diplomacy and cooperation. Alien leaders, their voices trembling, pledged their loyalty to the new galactic order. Humanity, though wary of their former enemies, extended a hand of friendship. "We do not seek to rule," a human representative declared. "We seek to build a future where all species can thrive." The galaxy, once so divided, began to heal. Alien species, their trust in the Council shattered, looked to humanity for guidance. Human scientists and engineers shared their knowledge, helping to rebuild what the war had destroyed. The scars of the conflict remained, but they served as a reminder of the cost of arrogance and the power of unity. The Council's leaders, their fate sealed, were tried for their crimes and sentenced to exile. The High Arbiter, his once proud voice now a whisper, accepted his punishment without protest. "We underestimated you," he admitted, "and for that we have paid the price." In the years that followed, humanity's influence spread across the galaxy. Their resilience and ingenuity became the stuff of legend, their names spoken with reverence by those who had once dismissed them. The galaxy, once so confident in its superiority, now looked to humanity as a beacon of hope. The war had changed everything, but it had also revealed the strength of a species that refused to be broken. The galaxy begged for talks, a human leader reflected, but we chose war instead. And in doing so, we showed them what it means to be human. The galaxy, humbled and united, moved forward into a new era, one shaped by the lessons of the past and the promise of the future. Humanity's triumph was not just a victory of arms, but a testament to the unyielding spirit of a species that had dared to defy the odds.